Now, the Latin culture is what we commonly identify with as Celtic, and it existed apart from Ireland and Britain until circa 400 BC. Celtic society dominated most of, nearly all of Western Europe and most of Europe into Eurasia, especially along the Danube River, which was named after the Tuatha, or mainly there at that point the way they had identified with was now a female creatrix mother goddess, Danu, and this prominent culture existed across Europe to the edges of the Romans, who called the Celtic people such, and the Greeks called them Keltoi. An interesting theory of mine concerning the name Danu, Dianu, its phonemics or sound is very close to the archetypal mother goddess figures from surrounding cultures. By all means, one might wonder if they do indeed have similar origins. What is Danu to the Celts is simply Anu to the Mesopotamians, Sumerians, Babylonians, and Dana to the Romans. And there's a race of a tribe in Egypt called the Danubians, who are said to have received star knowledge from an obscure race, and one of them being named Anubis. It's generally believed that around the time of the Tuathan period, secret societies began to emerge throughout all of these aforementioned cultures, and they seem to be intercultural, spreading a secret knowledge that becomes shared by several continents, and in the forms of the dragon legacies and the elvish traditions and Gnosticism and Freemasonry and the Illuminati sort that just seem to originate with the same premise all across Europe, and around the same time even. They later evolve into their own conclusions, and all believing themselves to be the enlightened, the illuminated. The Irish Book of Invasions is a manuscript of some antiquity. Describes the Tuatha Danu as the white and shining ones, even considered to be the possible source of living elementals, according to that portrayal. And for this I do, of course, mean the elves and other mythic races. And another thing you might look into is the Hyperboreans of the north. As far as the Tuatha Danu, the Tuathans, as I call them sometimes, they arrive in Keltia on May 1st, which is known as Beltane, and it's a sacred day observed in Celtic and Druid traditionalism. They're said to have been composed of 4 main leaders from 4 prominent cities from which they came, and some interpret that as from Atlantean cities, continents, each carrying a metaphysical tool or gift that was later modernized into ritual implements with their association with the elements and the directions and so forth, which is where a lot of the elementalism that we see in modern magic has stemmed from. For example, Nuada's fiery sword from the southern city of Findius, Lu's airy spear from the eastern city of Gorius, and the Dagda's watery cauldron from the western city of Murius, and Morphessa's earthly stone from the northern city of Fall. And from such lore, it's easy to see some aspects of these elemental correspondences, such as the element of air being sacred to the direction of east, and represented by a spear, or in further modernizations, a magic wand. I suppose wands are slightly less offensive devices than spears, though I really don't recommend going around pointing either at it.